I have so many jokes. But on a more serious note, you know that you've got a dud when the opening credits look better than the rest of the movie. Also, I watched this movie on a BlackBerry. I'm gonna break my list. Dun 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 dun. This movie sucks. The Amazing Bulk. Woo. I couldn't have said it better. It's written by Keith Schaffner and Jeremiah Campbell. Honestly, I'm kind of shocked this movie had writers. It's directed by Louis Schonbrun, and it stars these victims. But are they victims, really? I mean, you had a choice. Unless there was someone with a gun pointed at you just outside of the green screen, approximately 5 feet, by the way, then you had a choice to take one look at this monstrosity and be like, no. Trust me, you can breach any contract with this thing and people will understand. But no, reasons and reasons. Come on. Look at it! Let's level with each other. Writers, director, stars. Let's chalk it down for what it is. It's a complete dumpster fire. And if you can't tell by looking at that, then let's look at the facts instead. Firstly, I'd like to thank Nayfin for suggesting this movie. I'm assuming as a least favorite movie. I don't know, he didn't specify. I'm relying on my intuition here. Okay, so I still can't believe I'm talking about this. So The Amazing Bulk. I'll give it this, okay? The movie only costed $14,000, and you could probably only find it in the 99-cent bin at your local car wash. So the movie is pretty harmless until you look at the facts. I guess the first fact is, it exists. This was a movie. A studio backed this thing. The next thing is, you would think that the director would be like, I don't know, it's meant to be bad. It's like Sharknado. Or be like, you're right. I may or may not have been completely wasted the entire time, and I take full responsibility for those that were harmed both in the viewing and the making of this film. But no, this is serious. Instead, we get other responses like, it's like Roger Rabbit.
Allow me to zoom in on the action.
I took inspiration from Stanley Kubrick. Actually, that might make sense. I always wondered what Malcolm McDowell was really watching in A Clockwork Orange.
Stop it, please, I beg you! This is sin!
Most critics just don't get the concept of live-action people in a comic book world. Yeah, I don't get it. I suppose you showed it to the wrong audience, too. The audience of everyone, because everyone hates this movie.
Well, that sucked. It's okay. They're putting A Wrinkle in Time on next. Yay!
Good goal. Look, directors make stinkers all the time. But even better directors own up to it. You look up this guy's reactions and all you'll get is excuses. Even some of his own family defends him. Is it love when someone is constantly protecting you from the truth? Or would it be better to tell them the truth, offer your support, and everybody move on to better things? Nope. 8 years after the release of this thing, I'm left with the responsibility of showing the love and the hate. I mean, you can't make this, then expect anybody to pat you on the back. It's like posting passive-aggressive politics on somebody else's Facebook and then expecting a hug. Louis, you just made this movie too easy. You asked for it. So did Nayfin, technically. And me. But you, Louis, you brought this upon yourself. And this is The Amazing Bulk.
I don't have a headache. I'm just preparing.
Characters. You know, I'm not kidding. I really can forgive crappy production quality if we at least get characters that we can get behind. Take Spy Kids or Sin City, for example. I know they're entirely different films, directed by the same guy, but anyways, these were essentially entirely filmed on green screen, even though in many respects the effects don't look convincing. Don't take it as a compliment, Louis. We're comparing your movie to Spy Kids. But that's because it wasn't about that. What got us invested were the stories and the characters. So did this movie take advantage of its saving grace? Nope. Not only does the movie not take advantage of it, it sabotages it within the first 2 minutes. Forewarning, what you're about to see is really bad CGI. But in all seriousness, there is some violence in this, and so just, you've been forewarned.
Come on. Don't act like you never done it before.
So, it's no secret that this purple monstrosity was based off of the Incredible Hulk. But I seem to remember the Hulk being a hero? I don't know, like an Avenger? Someone who saves people? The Amazing Bulk shows up looking like this, then just watches the bad guy kill an innocent person.
Douche.
I mean, my gosh, the writers wasted no time telling us who to root for in the movie. Nobody. And I guess whatever the stupid his name is wasn't horrible. They at least didn't make him an idiot. Good heavens, what are you doing? You brought a plant back to life. You brought a freaking plant back to life!
I can't believe it actually worked. Oh, God, it's just not enough.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you're right. That's not concrete enough to serve itself up as evidence. No, we're insane. Inject yourself with that crap. In Hulk, Bruce Banner is exposed to radioactive energy during an attempt to save somebody. Yeah. Say what you will about that movie. In this, he lets people die and injects himself with a serum because stupid. Soon enough, you're introduced to the future father-in-law. And you know something? Why do we always need approval from the father when it comes to marrying a woman? Sure, you can buy her. Yeah, did I mention that this movie is insulting in like 37 languages? If anybody, shouldn't you go to the person who grew her? And also, why are guys so nervous to ask? The woman is an adult. Who the freak cares? I mean, geez, you seem nervous enough, you might as well ask the father to marry you. Speaking of the father...
Wait. Don't speak. There could be spies listening.
Holy creep.
Let's go somewhere private. Follow me.
There is no freaking way I'm going anywhere with that psychopath. There are also so many unexplainable moments in the movie. If I may, movie. If you're going to be implicative, don't be...
Oh my God. Hank, a roller coaster.
What? Look, a chair! And remember how 90% of action movies make cops out to be like the worst cops ever? Well, this action-ish movie makes cops out to be the worst cops ever!
I think our Henry murdered the mugger.
What? You're kidding. That sweet man.
The sweet man? God, these guys are no more cops than birds are elephants.
Looks like blood. Or something. I don't know.
I never saw purple blood before.
Yeah, well, this whole crime scene is one big mystery now, ain't it?
Worst cops
Did the examiner...
ever!
You son of a bitch! Oh.
You forget things, like the weight in the hand of a gun that's loaded and one that's not.
Yeah, you tell him, Liam.
Now for plan B.
What am I watching?
Why did I have to be so foolish and inject myself with a serum? If it ever fell into the wrong hands, there's no telling what could happen.
It already fell into the wrong hands. Your stupid hands.
No one expected you to inject yourself with a serum. That was idiotic of you.
I tried to tell him, holy creep. Oh yeah, and I forgot this movie had an actual villain. Using the broadest possible definition of villain, or actual, not worth our time. Oh yeah, and Zeus is in it. And that is all I have to say about the characters. Acting. Believe it or not, I actually don't feel that these two are that bad of actors. They just seem like two okay actors that made the dumbest decision of their lives, and we get to sit back and laugh at the consequences.
Bet you can't catch me.
So I plead the fifth in some parts.
We just can't have rats for pets.
Look, I promise I'm gonna make you the happiest woman in the world.
The way that I know that they're at least decent actors is not just because they can do this convincingly, but also because I'm pretty sure that's not his actual face. Pretty sure the director was just like, okay, so you have to look pissed off all the time because, you know, I'm always angry. So just pretend like you're a cross between Luke Skywalker and that llama from The Emperor's New Groove.
Llama face!
Llama face!
Llama face!
Hey, my wife has successfully ruined that scene for me forever, so I had to watch this movie. I could have been watching Artemis Fowl. You had to watch that. It's only fair. Speaking of fair, I think it's fair to say that the rest of the actors in this movie are complete crap.
Beautiful flowers. Where did you get those from? Our garden?
Facial expressions, line delivery, mannerisms, you name it. It's all so sad.
Okay, what gives? You got the look on your face.
You mean the same look he's had the entire movie? I've met mall cops that are more inquisitive than you. Though I'll give him this. You take one look at this guy and you ought to know exactly what's going on. Animation. I know, another failed animation. Oh, jeez. Okay, let's get the good stuff out of the way. No, that wasn't a joke. There has to be at least some positivity in every review, so... The transitions they use from scene to scene, although... yeah, they are competent enough for me to be like, okay, so they kinda cared. From 3 to 4 p.m. on Thursdays. And I'd say that they spent the rest of the time on green screen, because to be honest... this isn't as bad as the rest of the movie. Of course, that's like saying pee is less gross than poo. But I've seen movies with much larger budgets that just completely fail on green screen, where with this, it's only noticeable because of how bad the overall movie is. Believe me, I know how hard it is to prevent green screen spill and opacity issues. Although the cinematography and the lighting is abysmal, the green screen ain't half bad. But we have this crap, so who cares? For one thing, there's no scope. Why? Because their green screen isn't much bigger than mine is. As a result, most of their shots only include 2, maybe 3 people in close proximity. Any more people would have been outside of the green screen, so thus it just wasn't in the cards. This is why we have characters pretending to walk in 3D environments, and it looks ridiculous. I'm honestly surprised that they made any of these 3D environments and stock footage work at all. Not just because they sort of work, but because look at the film! Why even go to the trouble? Even shots that make it seem as though there's more people or it's shot from far away? It's either 2 separately shot people spliced into frame, or a shot of a person scaled down to emulate distance. It's a joke. I mean, at least they didn't resort to using those sock and puppets. Okay, I guess we're... alright. Yep. Yeah, I've seen less resorting at Disney World. I think I'm done. Here. Dialogue. You know, I'm surprised that at least some of these lines haven't become commonplace. They're so...
I love her, okay? That's why. I love her.
That's no surprise, though, you being a scientist and all.
Right. Because of all people to stereotype as emotionally compelled, it's scientists. Not artists, not dreamers, not romantics, not critics. Scientists. You're an idiot.
Sorry. Did we wake you?
Yeah, it's alright. I overslept anyway.
When were you born?
Hank, a roller coaster!
Now, if you're thinking, oh, MovieSlayer, that's what cops do in order to match the ID. Seriously? Your first inclination is to give this movie the benefit of the doubt. Well, I bet you can't guess what the very next line is.
He's just kidding around.
He's kidding. What a rascal. It's not like it's your job. Oh, and did I mention how many times they make women out to look like asinines? Probably not. More on that later. Also, worst cops ever!
Sweet dreams, you purple pile of cow dung. Please spare my life.
Oh, you would say that, being a scientist and all.
You're crazy, you know that? You're sick!
I don't even think that was supposed to be in the film. I think they just caught him on camera talking to his agent on the phone after he saw the dailies.
You're crazy, you know that? You're sick!
Okay, next slide.
He got himself killed in the process. He was a brave man. Never forget that.
No. No. No.
No, so he wasn't brave? You dated the guy. You know, I beg to differ, Bruce Wayne, because every man in this movie looks like they're about to crap out a failed sitcom.
Damn it, I'm sick of failure.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Story.
As soon as you see Comic Sans in the opening credits, then you should know not to take this movie seriously. I mean, if the cover didn't tip you off. And yet the movie, entirely, takes itself so seriously. So remember that thing about when the director said that this is like Roger Rabbit? I can't believe I'm explaining this. Roger Rabbit is entirely different because it's over the top and it takes itself seriously in all of the right ways. Versus this, where there's no intentional comedy, charm, familiarity, whimsy, or anything that is in the least bit interesting to look at. No, Louis, this is retroactively justified, sloppy rip-off bullcrap. On that note, if you're now going to retroactively call this a parody, which I might be inclined to believe you because you parody virtually every major studio logo in the intro, regardless, it changes nothing. The thing is that if you're going to parody something, it still has to be good. What's good? Well, take Shrek, for instance. It takes from other sources, like your movie, but it doesn't scream lazy because it has a compelling story, it's nice to look at, and we're invested in the characters. This movie fails on every level. It doesn't work as a parody, and it most definitely doesn't work as a film. Although I do have to give the movie props for not feeling the need to say the movie title anywhere. Well, except for
Purple pile of cow dung.
There it is. The movie also has no clue who its audience is. Okay, so it's obviously not for kids, judging by the scene that I showed you near the beginning of the review. It's obviously not for adults. So who's it for? Oh, that's right. The movie's for nobody, making it pointless. The movie almost seems like it tried not to have an audience. I mean, of all the Hulks to rip off, at least in the opening credits, it rips off Ang Lee's Hulk. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm actually one of the few that actually likes that movie, but even I know not to reference something that everybody hates. The movie is so thoughtless at times, and then other times it's like, no, you knew what you were doing wrong. Like, take the intro. I need your help here, people. Please explain this scene to me. What just happened? That's my question. Someone in the comments tell me what just happened. The movie even shows this scene again later, and I still haven't the slightest clue. Did the bullet bounce off of whatever that's supposed to be? Was he CGI'd to death? I guess otherwise known as crappy graphics and penetrability. Was he struck down by Zeus? Did the opening credits eat him? Tell me what happened. I don't even know why I'm questioning it. I mean, he's dropped out of a helicopter here, and yet he couldn't survive one story. Honestly, I could forgive the movie faster if this had just happened the first time.
Predictability.
Zeus is in it.
Moral.
Well, thank you for not saying the S word, I guess.
Don't.
Yeah, the movie is surprisingly restrained in the cursing department. But it's also freaking sexist. It's insane. There are honestly so many that I couldn't cover all of them, so this is just a quick list of the sins. A girl gets raped and killed, a blonde is stupid, but hey, who's counting? They made this girl stupid too. The father must give permission, this cop always drives, there's no mother, sex. Hey look, a freaking roller coaster! There's only one way to completely screw up an already terrible movie, and that is to tarnish its morals. Good God, are we done? Yeah, we're done. There's only two reasons to watch this movie, peeps. One is if you want to laugh at failure.
No more failures!
Or if a friend asks you to watch it with them. In which case, I would reevaluate that relationship. But I forgive Nayfin as I freaking asked for it. Okay, list. Here we go. Oh, you're fine. Stop using the same joke. Guys, it looks like crap. It smelt like crap. It tasted like crap. Thus it is crap. I'm putting this purple pile of cow dung at number 663. Well, that's done, and the list is fine, because we're resilient. You think you have a worse movie to suggest?
Bring it on.
Believe it or not, there are much worse movies out there. Goodness. So the amazing bulk. Thank you, Nayfin, for making me that much more of a patient person. I've got the Green Book review on the way, suggested by Audrey Rios and Rick Sakili. I'm butchering it. What with how negative this review was, the Green Book is going to be the perfect polar opposite. You just wait. And if you want to help the channel, it's free. Please like, subscribe, and hit that bell on the side, and I will see you next time on MovieSlayer. Sweet dreams, you purple pile of cow. Okay, let's go.